to work, back to work, back to work, back to work. This is all painted. I am sanding the other cap rail now, and Pete is working on the planking. Oh, I'm glad we didn't cut out any more than we had. I'll show you some of the planks that he has in here. He's got this one all fit. This is all scarfed in where it was rotted. All this is all patched and ready. He's got a piece here going in. Over here, he's got a couple planks. And all the little pieces of hand planing. Meanwhile, I am finishing. I'm going to sand this whole cap rail down. She's all sealed up here. Good morning. This morning we have a little job to look at. I think some doors or something in a house. This is the house we're going to be working on. There's a big barn to put a boat in. And then over here is a workshop and then a living space up top.
It's exactly what we want to build.
It was really cool walking around and being like, oh, so many things. So many things we want to do. That's it on Varnish. I'm all done with Varnish. No more. Used it all. It's looking pretty though. Now everything's getting filled with dust, but before it just glowed like a glowy. Now we gotta vacuum up all the dust to get ready to hammer oakum and cotton. More capper. Can actually see the hole on Norna here.
Yeah, I was trying to scrape the tar, but ran out of time. It's probably okay.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Alright, well, let me go get a bucket.
That looks like a big seam there. So, and these look all about the same.
They
here,
all look the same.
except for that one. So I'd start with this one here
You start with the smallest seam.
and work your way out. And first get a bucket and take all that and lower it into there, because see, it's I want to take a bigger one. Try to get out. I might flatten that one out some on the grinder. We can set that in.
a thicker one. You use a thinner one to hammer the cotton in, and you do it, you kind of pull it in and hammer it in, pull it in and hammer it at a little bit of an angle, so it's kind of like rope, sort of. And after you do that, you just set it down. And right now we're kind of wanting to set it at a little deep, but you don't want to break through. So it's a little bit deep in there, so it's got room for the oakum. And then we'll put a little linseed oil on top.
And you'll know where you stopped and started too.
Yeah. Nice coat of linseed oil on top of everything.
You're supposed to put Jap dryer though, and turpentine in it too. So let's not do the deck yet.
Oh.
Just do the seams right now. Yeah, you won't be able to even walk on it. I can put a little bit of Jap dryer in this.
Yeah. You want me to go get it?
And the mineral spirits, or I'd rather.
Okay, so there's various thicknesses on each one. Yeah.
Seems different.
There's various thicknesses. This is to set it when you're doing like the rope setting thing, so you want it to be sort of thin. And then this, and then this is for setting the cotton, about that thickness. And then when you want to set the oakum, bit thicker. So right now Pete is setting the oakum. One thing you want to make sure is that you don't break through the other side. You also want to set it deep enough where the tar has room to fit down into the seam.
Boy, that seems pretty sweet. Now we gotta connect the oakum to another
Connect
piece.
the tiles. I'll go down below and make sure we're not breaking through. This is about what you want your loops to look like. You don't want them to be too fat, like right here I might have got a little too fat here. Like you want to keep them as consistent as possible, and you don't want big loops sticking out. You also don't want them set too deep in. Like over here, these might be a little bit set in a little bit. So you want them to kind of just look like that before you actually use the thicker, whatever this is, caulking iron to push it down into the setting iron to push it in the seam. Doing a good job. Up go the water tanks. They're heavy. I better go. Okay, I have all one side done with cotton. So all the seams have cotton in it. And Pete thinks he might have mixed up the hardener with the resin lid things. They should write on the cans, like on the little lids, like hardener and resin. So he mixed the two up, and that made for a perfect bond on the epoxy cans. So I got the cockpit done. That's ready for, actually because this is varnished, this is just going to have regular caulking in there. So I got one of these seams here, that one done, I got that seam done. And now I'm working on this one, and I got that one done. So just little by little, keep plugging away. I actually used a whole bale of cotton on that side. A whole one of these cotton bale thingies. I guess they're not bales, because bales are like huge, but a whole one of these things on one side of the boat. So I guess that'll kind of let us know and let you know if you're, kind of going to delve into the project, kind of how much cotton is used. So this is one bale, or whatever that's called, So we'll let you know kind of how much oakum we go through as we go. But that was just a practice run just to see how deep to make the cotton so that we have room for the oakum. And to make sure we don't break through. Whoa. One of these seams, I did. One of these seams here had already been broken through before, so I had to like really layer up the cotton and kind of push it up against itself, and then I could hammer it in without breaking through. But it had already been broken through previously. So Pete is now mixing up some epoxy, and he's going to be, he also put dolphinite on all the beams, and he's going to put down all the new planks. So all these, and the epoxy is actually for any spots that are pretty known to rot. Just kind of like putting a little epoxy, and also for any of the little spline pieces that he had to make on these. So this one had to be splined in. Yeah, where the bolts are. So that's for epoxy as well. Anyways, so enough talking, back to work. Got these boards in. Boards are on. Hi, 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 hi. Ooh.